work. Okay, so I am coming back to do this episode because sometimes I'll think of ideas and then I'll talk about them and I'll be like, never mind. But I think this is important because this is regarding to living life as an empath, which I never knew actually of a word or a label. I don't like to label myself, and I would never have, even when I heard this word empath, to know what it means because I've kind of always, for one thing, cried about, like sentimental, watch a movie, hear a song, whatever. I'm like, doesn't everybody, like when you hear sad music, happy music, whatever, we feel it moves us, stuff in the media, things we see happen, cry. Like, I don't know, I kind of felt like that was a normal thing, even though as time has gone by, I'm like, I feel like I'm the only one crying about this. And then when I hear other people's stories, they're telling me about their life, that's how I energetically probably absorb and take on people's energy. So that is one, what do you call it, like description of an empath, right? We feel and sometimes take on other people's pain and different things like that, but there's varying levels of it. So it's evolved and um, become more enhanced with age over time. But I also had a client who told me she also didn't really realize this about her, that she would actually, when she would be driving around, actually throw up because she could feel other people's energy. There are also people that can walk in a room and they just also feel everybody's energy, right? I am not one of those people. So I never really would have labeled myself or even said that I had those qualities. But over time, I have realized, especially in the past, I don't know, like 5 or 10 years, okay, this is just who I am. I'm going to embrace it and not overanalyze and saying, oh, it's trauma and this and that, whatever, right? Because that's where I really feel is where when people tell me their stories and share, I don't, there's no thinking, the tears just come. And so, if any of you are feeling like this or notice this about yourself, right? Because, like I just said, it feels like it's something normal, but what it also can do at the same time is the sucking of your energy, draining it, um, and these certain things that I have to do as a stress relief. Stress shows up in me as back of the head headaches. And I didn't bring it with me here. It's called a head tickler. And the movement for like massage or just relaxation is just to move it up and down your head. But I just leave it on my head and just sit there. And it really does help, whether it's pushing on acupressure points or meridians, working with them or whatever it is. Even though I'm not making the movement, I like to just leave it there. So that's one of the things, the practices that I have to do that help me in dealing with, I would say, these different forms of stresses like this. And this is funny that I need this way, yet working in customer service and managing my interactions with people is a different type of stress that I don't necessarily need to do this kind of stuff for. So I think that's interesting to me. I also know that I have to take it to another level in my vault of the different things that I try because I feel like either those things aren't working anymore or I just need something else, like hot water and hot baths. That really helps me. And there are a lot of things that are very temporary. The walking around in nature thing, the meditating and whatever, I feel like that those are temporary. Most things are a temporary relief. Um, and so I have to find other ways to kind of deal with these sorts of things. So that's acceptance of myself, that varying levels of stress and knowing how much I want to take on, going to bed early, that really helps me. And of course, just being still. Sometimes I wonder how I can go on and on talking like that and just nonstop. Okay, so as far as living life as an empath and also with my serious mission work, this also made me ask myself, why can't I just enjoy life and not taking on all of this energetic thing about the world and the people and looking at this beautiful everything? the way I feel like, okay, I should feel like this. Why don't I feel like this? And I need, I think, some herbal support regarding this because my moods and my mood is also as a result of what I call is a soul sickness in regards to my mission, which is helping others, empower others, evolve culture, all of those things that I've always wanted to do since I was a teenager. And in some ways, yes, I have been doing that, just not to the level and the 10th time power, 10th level of what I want to do. I feel like I'm not doing that. So it caused what's called soul sickness. So at least I know that it is related to that. But how am I going to get through these feelings of, even no matter how much I tell myself, hey, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So what more do you want, lady? So that's what I am in the middle of right now. So what I encourage you to do is just paying attention to ourselves. There's always so much going on, but now that self-care, I came from self-care and wellness, I know it is essential and mandatory moving forward. Just like I know I need to get back to fighting and working out and all these different things that I've looked into, even functional fitness. I know I'm not going to be happy until I get back to fighting and somehow in my lifestyle. But again, it's looking for places that may not be online, so I need to start walking, asking around. Yes, walking and asking. Okay, so I think the last segment of this video that I want to talk about, just going back to the empath, is that once you learn and embrace these things about yourself, and if you do want to grow, it does help you as you're understanding yourself. Actually, understanding others helps me understand myself. But with time, and sometimes it could take your lifetime, it's a lot easier to, I feel like, live with myself, understanding, okay, I know that I come at people at 100, right? Going back to working for somebody else, I am come at 100 because I am so, if I am passionate about this, so I need to understand that about myself, that that's not for everybody. Maybe it's too much for them, and not get offended. And I think I'm doing good with that. But yes. So I think I'm just also like, if somebody says that I need to slow down and tame the wild horse, I need to listen. But my brain moves so fast, so I need to find some other ways if my meditating is not working for me. I feel like this was a video rambling on of Nora Finch's venting and complaining, and coming back to you is that with all of this that I just said, is I want to help you understand yourself if this is you, and how this stuff can affect our health. That's the bottom line, people. This is why they will say stress can kill you, because all of these things, a lot of these things maybe are self-induced, and not being able to step back and be like, okay, that's too much. Like me, even with this mania, like I said, going at 100 because I have all these sorts of ideas going on, right? But I'm sure it's crazy for my nervous system, whatever kinds of stuff that it's doing, and not good for me. That's why, in some respects, I need to tone it down. I need to find a way how to reel it in, and I'm just hoping that life is going to show me how to do that. But I can just go to bed early, is one solution, and take my hot water baths. So pay attention to yourself, people. I would encourage it to preserve if you would like to continue living, which that is for another deeper, sounds like morbid subject, but a part of my path has been how to thrive and survive in life. Even though that sounds really dramatic, and I feel like I'm being dramatic, this is my journey. Okay, 16 minutes going in. So I think, I feel, I know that a lot of my stress too is there's a lot of unknown moving forward. So I create more anxiety inside of myself. Excuse me. Again, self induced. So let's go ahead and end this episode after you just heard me run my mouth, and I can give you all sorts of recommendations aside from meditation. Sometimes people just need to go sit in a black room and stare in the darkness. There's many solutions out there aside from all of the typical things that I feel like people recommend, that again I feel like to say, like, it could just be something as simple as that. But if you don't, I mean, and plenty of things, right, that are free. But okay, so let's close that out there, and let's go ahead